I was working construction and she was a painter, and we both became friends.
I don't even know how to describe it. He was just my friend, and that was extremely attractive to me. I don't think I had experienced that up until him. And needless to say, I pursued him because of that.
It was great. We had a lot in common, and eventually we did start dating, and she had a Christian background, which I didn't, but I figured that would be good for, for right now.
We spent as much time as we could together. In doing so, within a couple of months, we were spending, I wasn't even going home. I was with him all the time. Within 3 months, we were pregnant. So, needless to say, I never thought I would fall into those shoes, ever.
We didn't want anybody thinking that we were just gonna rush in and get married and then it wasn't gonna work out. So we spent the time to really get to know each other. I'm a very analytical person, and there was not an equation or something that I could read or touch and someone tell me that it's fact. It just didn't exist for me. And I was okay with that, but I really wanted our children to have a fair opportunity to make their own judgment. And Sunshine was that person that I knew that they would be raised in a church that she would take them to and would give them her background.
It was Mother's Day, and the boys had planned a whole Mother's Day for me. And one of the things they had planned in the day was to go to church. And Rob came to church, and he told me, as his wife, I sacrifice so much, and that I give up a lot, that this is one thing that he could absolutely do for us. And from that day on, he came.
At that point, it was not important for me to be part of their life and have a Christian faith. Sunshine was doing a great job all by herself in my eyes.
And then one day, he just freaked out, and he said, I am never going back. I don't want to go back. You're forcing me into something that I don't believe in, and I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I had an epiphany like God has never shared with me before about how I took control away from God. And God said, give it back to me. He's mine, he's not yours. It was so painful. It was so painful. I was losing that incredible hope that I had held on to for so many years, that this man was going to be the head of the house.
Over a year ago, I committed the worst moral sin that I could commit to my wife in our marriage. And at that point, I knew I didn't want to lose her. And to go through and try to figure out what I have to do to make sure that I don't, I had to figure it out. And for some reason, I had a draw to go to church for the first time in my life. In doing that, ironically, that evening, Isaac had spoke on the law of the harvest. And he touched on a lot of sins that evening. And adultery was one of them, and he spoke to me. That was God using that platform to pull me in. I broke down. I got down on a knee. So here I am. What do I do? I could feel a peace over me. It was someone was holding me and telling me everything was going to be okay. I just have to give up my stubbornness and let God into my heart. From that point, I knew of two people that knew Christ. I didn't know what else to do, so I looked them up and I asked to meet with them and talk with them. And that was when I knew it was real.
The day after I found out everything, I automatically forgave him. Forgiveness was not even an option. I wasn't even allowed to consider not forgiving him. And God was saying, you're not done. This is not happening. You love this man. And when Rob came in the house, I put my arms around him And I just asked him to come home.
Still my heart and hold my tongue. I feel my time has come.
What used to be attending church for my 2 boys and my wife, now I attend for me and my personal relationship with God.
I've never felt this way before.
Braxton absolutely loves to go to Surge.
I don't know where I've come from.
Avery loves to go and learn in base camp.
For you I've waited all these years. For you I'd wait till kingdom come.
Right after I had met with a good friend of mine, he said, "Rob, you got to get in the Bible and you got to understand it." To know that those guys, they could talk to me and make me understand and made me feel welcome.
This year has been the best year of my life, and it came from the darkest place I've ever been. But if I hadn't invited forgiveness into my life and allowed God to do the work that He had planned after it, I would not be joyful today. I was able to give him an incredible love that God gives us. I was able to give him agape love our entire marriage. I'm so thankful that our boys have a love for him that is agape love, that he shows them agape love, that he gives me agape love.
Just say you'll wait for me. Just say you'll wait for me.
Choose love. Absolutely.